Sometimes the danger inside your home isn't something you can see. It's something you've unknowingly invited. There are items we treat as harmless decorations or memories, yet they carry a darkness that slowly steals your peace, your sleep, and your protection. If these objects are sitting in your house right now, they may be creating an open door for negative forces to walk in freely. Before another day passes, you need to know what these items are, because removing them could be the very thing that restores the light, safety, and calm you've been praying for. Every home carries an atmosphere. Some homes feel peaceful the moment you walk in, and others feel heavy without any reason. That heaviness doesn't come from the walls. It comes from the things we allow inside. There are objects that silently invite negativity, confusion, and unrest. And before you know it, your home becomes a place you don't even feel comfortable in. We often assume spiritual danger arrives with noise and fear. But the truth is, it enters quietly. It hides in the things we collect, the items we keep out of habit, and the objects we don't even recognize as harmful. Darkness rarely knocks. It slips through the door disguised as something normal. Some items carry the weight of the past. Broken memories, painful connections, or objects associated with practices that don't belong in your life anymore. These things hold emotional and spiritual residue that can disturb the peace of your home. Removing them isn't superstition, it's protection. Energy is real. Every object has a story attached to it. Some stories bring hope, but others bring stress, fear, or confusion. When you hold on to items tied to dark symbolism, negative rituals, or unsettling histories, you unintentionally invite the same energy into your environment. Clearing them out opens room for light to flow in. Sometimes the objects that attract darkness are gifts from people who never wished you well. Their intentions may have been hidden, but their energy stayed attached. A home should be a shield, not a doorway for negativity. Letting go of such items breaks unseen links and restores spiritual boundaries. Objects used in occult practices, like charms, talismans, idols, or ritualistic items, may seem interesting or decorative, but spiritually they act like open windows for unwanted forces. Many people don't realize how these things affect their sleep, their peace, and even their relationships. Removing them closes the door to influences you never intended to welcome. Even items connected to entertainment, dark artwork, violent symbols, or objects glorifying fear can shape the atmosphere of your home. What you keep in your space shapes your spirit. If something doesn't match the peace you want in your life, it shouldn't stay where you live. Negative energy also hides in clutter. Old, unused, broken things create a stagnant environment where heaviness grows. A clean home isn't just visually appealing, it's spiritually open and free. Getting rid of clutter removes the spiritual fog that often drains your energy without you realizing it. You may have noticed tension, bad dreams, sudden anxiety, or an unusual discomfort in your home. These feelings don't always come from stress. They sometimes come from your surroundings. When you remove spiritually harmful objects, your home begins to breathe again. Peace returns, slowly but surely. Your home is your sanctuary. It should protect you, refresh you, and give you strength. Removing the items that attract darkness isn't about fear. It's about claiming your space. It's about choosing light over shadows and safety over risk. Once you clear these items out, you'll feel the difference not only in your home, but in your entire spirit. There are things inside your home that look harmless, but carry an energy that disturbs your peace. Some objects bring a spiritual weight that slowly affects your thoughts and emotions. When darkness enters silently, you don't notice it at first, but moving the wrong items can shift your whole atmosphere. Some objects you keep out of attachment may secretly be holding negative influence. These things act like small doors that allow unhealthy energy to settle inside your home. You might not see the effect instantly, but you can feel it. Clearing them brings your space back to life. Your home is supposed to be a shield, but certain items weaken that shield without warning. They attract spiritual clutter and unwanted forces. Instead of offering comfort, they create disturbances in your mind. Removing them restores your home's natural balance. There are objects that carry the weight of past experiences, someone else's pain, fear, or negativity. When you keep such items, you unknowingly invite those emotions into your home. You deserve a fresh atmosphere, not one haunted by someone else's history. It begins with letting go. Some items were never meant for your life. They were brought into your house by mistake, impulse, or curiosity. But their energy doesn't belong in your spiritual space. Removing them removes a burden you didn't even know you were carrying. You can feel peace when you enter the right house. You can also feel discomfort when something is off. That discomfort often comes from the presence of spiritually dark objects. Clearing them creates room for a calm, uplifting environment. Negative forces don't always come through obvious ways. They slip in through the things we collect, display, or store without thinking. These objects hold more than their physical form. Removing them is like closing a door you didn't know was open. Your home reflects your inner state. If the environment feels heavy, slow, or tense, something inside it is influencing your spirit. Small objects with dark symbolism can shape that feeling. Getting rid of them helps your spirit feel lighter. Some items come with hidden meanings that clash with your spiritual values. You may see them as decoration, but they influence your home's energy quietly. When the symbolism is dark, the atmosphere becomes dark too. Removing them brings clarity. Objects connected to harmful practices, even if kept for fun, create a spiritual connection you never intended. These ties invite energy you don't want around you or your family. Clearing them cuts those invisible links. Peace follows soon after. Old items you inherited may carry stories you didn't ask for. Not every story is positive, and not every connection is healthy. Some memories live inside objects like shadows. Releasing them sets both of you free. Broken items create stagnant energy that attracts more negativity over time. Their presence blocks the flow of peace and freshness inside your house. When you remove what is broken, you make space for something better. Healing starts with decluttering. Dark artwork, fear-based symbols, and unsettling designs shift the vibration of your home. They influence your thoughts, even when you're not paying attention. Removing them resets the emotional tone of your space. Your peace matters more than any decoration. Some gifts were never given with pure intentions. They carry the energy of jealousy, resentment, or manipulation. When kept in your house, they spread the same feelings. Getting rid of them brings immediate emotional relief. If your home suddenly feels tense, restless, or spiritually uncomfortable, the cause might be physical objects. These items work quietly, influencing your sleep and thoughts. Removing spiritually harmful objects calms your environment. You feel the change instantly. Every object holds a story, and some stories attract darkness. When these items stay in your house, the energy of that story stays with them. Releasing them closes the chapter. It invites a new beginning filled with light. Your home responds to what you place inside it. If the objects carry dark energy, the environment becomes heavy. If they reflect peace, the home feels comforting. Removing the wrong items restores emotional harmony. Objects from unknown sources can carry unpredictable spiritual influence. You don't know who used them or what they were connected to. Such items create uncertainty in your space. Removing them protects your home from unseen effects. Some things were bought without thinking about their deeper meaning. Later, they start affecting your environment. When you remove items that contradict your spirituality, your home becomes aligned with your purpose again. Cluttered corners and hidden drawers often hold objects that attract negativity. These things trap energy and create emotional heaviness. Clearing them refreshes your entire home. You feel lighter because your space becomes lighter. Your spirit recognizes what your mind ignores. If there's something in your home that doesn't belong, your heart senses it. That tight feeling is a sign. Removing the item restores calm instantly. Dark souvenirs or objects from places filled with fear, conflict, or negativity bring that energy into your home. You may not notice it at first, but your environment does. Letting these items go releases that heavy influence. Some items attract chaos because of the energy attached to them. You may see random arguments, unexplained stress, or discomfort in your home. Removing these objects breaks that cycle. Peace replaces conflict. A home filled with spiritually safe items feels bright. A home with harmful objects feels draining. That difference is subtle but powerful. Removing the wrong things brings back the warmth your space once had. Negative symbols act like magnets for dark energy. They draw in feelings you don't want. Fear, anxiety, frustration. When you remove such symbols, hope and clarity return. Your environment feels renewed. Even objects used for entertainment can influence your spirit if their themes are dark. The more they represent fear and chaos, the more they affect your home's energy. Removing them protects your emotional well-being. Some items carry spiritual authority from sources you shouldn't be connected to. When kept in your home, they create unwanted spiritual activity. Removing them cuts that influence immediately. Discomfort inside your home is not always imaginary. Sometimes it's the silent presence of the wrong objects. When you clear them out, the atmosphere softens. You feel safe again. A peaceful home allows you to rest, but spiritually harmful items disrupt that rest. They interfere with your sleep and even your dreams. Removing them restores nighttime peace. Your mind finally gets a break. Your home's energy shapes your daily life. If the objects inside attract dark, your days feel heavier. When you remove those items, you open space for positivity. Your life becomes smoother. Some objects carry unresolved spiritual energy from previous owners. When placed in your home, they merge your environment. Removing them prevents their influence from affecting your family. Your intuition often guides you before your mind understands why. If something inside your home feels wrong, it probably is. Trust that feeling. Removing that item brings instant relief. Objects with occult ties, even if kept accidentally, create openings for negative spirits. These items disturb your spiritual protection. Removing them strengthens your home's shield. Sometimes negativity doesn't come from you. It comes from what surrounds you. Certain objects act as carriers of dark emotions. When you release them, your environment becomes lighter and more joyful. Your home should reflect who you are becoming, not what you have outgrown. Some objects keep you tied to old pain or fear. Removing them allows you to move forward spiritually and emotionally. Certain items were never meant to be in your possession. They found their way into your home through coincidence. But spiritually, they disrupt your peace. Removing them aligns your space with clarity. A spiritually clean home invites protection, blessings, and calmness. But harmful items weaken those blessings. They change the emotional tone of the entire space. Removing them restores divine peace. Your home listens to your energy. If negative items remain inside, they conflict with the positivity you're trying to build. Letting go of them creates harmony. Your home finally feels like yours again. There is nothing stronger than a home filled with light. But that light dims when dark objects are present. Removing them opens the way for healing and spiritual safety. Your atmosphere transforms instantly. Some objects act like silent shadows in your home, unnoticed but influential. They twist the atmosphere without making a sound. When they stay too long, you start feeling drained for no reason. Removing them brings back the light your home was missing. Your home absorbs the energy of everything inside it. If something carries darkness, that same darkness spreads into the walls, the rooms, and even your emotions. You deserve a space that supports your spirit. Clearing harmful objects creates that space. Unwanted forces don't always enter through doors. Sometimes they enter through the things we treasure. These objects create small cracks in your spiritual protection. When you remove them, those cracks seal instantly. Peace returns where fear once lived. Every time you enter your home, you should feel comfort, not pressure. If the atmosphere suddenly feels heavy, something inside is affecting it. Look around carefully. Removing the wrong object can restore calm within seconds. Some objects appear beautiful, but the energy behind them is anything but. They attract disturbance like a magnet. Your mind picks up on the discomfort, even if you don't understand why. Letting them go brings your home back to spiritual clarity. When your home no longer feels like a refuge, it's usually because something has shifted inside it. That shift often comes from spiritually harmful items. Removing them resets your environment. Safety returns with simplicity. There are objects you hold on to simply because they've been around for years. But age doesn't make them harmless. Some of them carry years of accumulated negativity. Releasing them frees your home from an old spiritual weight. Even small items can carry powerful spiritual influence. Their size doesn't determine their impact. Sometimes the smallest object can create the biggest disturbance. Removing it brings instant emotional clarity. Items connected to fear, darkness, or negative symbolism disturb the atmosphere of your home. They place a spiritual shadow over everything, but once removed, your environment brightens in ways you didn't expect. The change is almost immediate. Every home has a spiritual vibration. Dark objects lower that vibration and weaken your emotional strength. You begin to feel tired, disconnected, or restless. Clearing these objects lifts the vibration of your entire space. Some objects were bought during difficult times, and they still carry that emotional energy. Keeping them keeps the memory of struggle alive. Removing them allows healing to flow. Your home becomes a place of comfort again. Spiritual disturbances often begin with small signs: troubled sleep, unnecessary arguments, or sudden anxiety. These signs are clues that something in your home is attracting the wrong energy. Removing the object breaks that influence immediately. Objects tied to unknown cultures or rituals can create confusion in your home's energy. They clash with your spiritual foundation. Letting them go brings your environment back into alignment with who you are and what you believe. You should never ignore the feeling that something is wrong in your home. That feeling is your spirit alerting you. Often it's connected to an object you shouldn't have kept. Removing it restores the peace you've been missing. Negative spiritual energy is like dust. It settles slowly and silently, usually on the wrong objects. Over time, it weakens your environment, disrupts your emotional stability. Clearing these items washes away that invisible dust and resets your home's purity. In the end, your home becomes what you allow inside it. When you choose to remove the objects that attract darkness, you're not acting out of fear, you're acting out of wisdom. You're choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and light over anything that tries to dim your spirit. Your home should protect your heart, calm your mind, and strengthen your soul. And that begins the moment you clear out what doesn't belong. Once you remove these items, you'll feel the difference, not just in your house, but in your entire life.